Well, today I'm going to be teaching you how to use YouTube and the YouTube video capability to spread your social media assets across all of your social media platforms, and to do so just with YouTube itself. It'll make your job a lot easier in terms of getting your social media assets out there and distributed to the general public. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a channel. It's absolutely essential that if you're going to use YouTube effectively, you must have your own channel. So we're going to create a channel right now. And the channel that we're going to create is one that I set up specifically for this purpose. Okay, so the first thing you need is a Google account, Google email account. And you need to make sure that you haven't set up a channel previously. Okay. So we're going to go and attempt to set up a channel. The first thing we're going to do is once our Google account is open, and remember, Google and YouTube are connected. Google actually owns YouTube. It's a subsidiary of Google, and they work very effectively together. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go up here after you've opened up your Google Gmail, what people call a Gmail account, but which is actually just a Google account. You're going up here and you're going to click on first in this space right here where all of the various Google apps reside. You're going to click on YouTube. All right. Now, once you do that, this blank sheet comes up. You then go to your little icon that's been put there by Google to represent you and represent your account, and you click down. And when you click down, what you will see is an option here to create a channel. And that's precisely what I'm going to do right now, is create a channel. So for purposes of this demonstration, I'm going to basically just leave in what YouTube has by default just prescribed for my channel. Okay, so you create the channel. Here's the button down here. There you can select a picture, you can select a name for your channel, and you can even select a handle for your channel. You can make it something unique that you prefer as opposed to something they've assigned to you. And so I'm going to create this channel.
Leah Amy Rubin Baraska.
And voila, we now have a channel. Now the reason why that's important is that in order to be able to utilize the tool sets that come with YouTube that will be advantageous and will help you promote your social media assets, you need to be able to access what's called YouTube Studio. And only if you set up a channel can you do that. So I'm going to access YouTube Studio here. Okay, so that's what it looks like when you first set up your channel. All right, so that's the first thing you need to do, is to make sure that you don't just have videos, but that you've created a channel for yourself in which you can use that as a repository for all of the videos that you're going to be doing over the course of time. All right, so I'm going to check out of this one, and I'm going to go into one that's already been well established to do the rest of this video. Okay, so now I'm going to go to one of our pre-existing channels, and I'm going to show you how to use YouTube to maximize your social media outreach. Okay, so the first thing we want to do, we have an established channel, is we want to go to our YouTube channel. And the YouTube channel associated with this particular email account is called Invent America TV, actually. So I'm going to go view our channel. And you can see when I click the icon for the channel, view your channel is listed underneath there, and that's how you get to your channel. Okay. All right, but now we want to upload a new video. So we go down to YouTube Studio. As I mentioned, setting up the channel. And we're going to go to this button over here, Create, and this button will allow us to upload a video. Okay. That brings us to a dialog box, and you can upload videos. You can either drag and drop, or you can select a file from your desktop. I'm going to select a file from the desktop. And what I'm looking for here is the next episode of Invent America TV. So I'm going to upload that. As you can see, it is now uploading the video. And while the video is uploading, a screen shows up. This screen is very important. Do not just let your video upload and do nothing with the content that is attached to your video, because the content that's attached to your video will, in essence, drive the views of your video. It will increase your reach into the YouTube community if you spend time putting together the details that pertain to your video. And I'll walk you through that right now. All right, so what we want to do is, if you've uploaded your video, the first thing that YouTube will grab in this space is whatever name you gave to your video. So if you don't like the name that you gave to your video as the title for your video as it is rolled out to the general public, you need to make that change right here. Now I'm going to leave that because we identify our episodes by numbers. But what I am going to do is I'm going to add the subject matter of this particular episode, which is Trademark Wars. Trademark Wars, there we go. And then I'm going to describe what the Trademark Wars video is all about. Let me see if I still have it pasted here. No, I'm sorry, I don't. Okay. So I'm going to go look for the description that I previously put together for this particular episode. And we're going to cut and paste. Now later on I'll change this description, but right now I just want to get something up there that I can work with. Alright, so we just pop it in there. Oops, I didn't grab it. So let's copy. Why is it not pasting? Paste. There we go. There we go. All right. Then we scroll down. Let's see. Make sure we've gotten everything. Yep, good. And the next thing is, once the video is finished processing, there will be an auto-generated image that the YouTube algorithm pulls from the video itself. If you like the auto-generated image, you just leave it. If you don't like it, you can always upload an image file from your desktop or your folders that you would prefer to use to attract attention to your video once it's posted on the internet, on the YouTube station. The next item is you need to click what playlists you want this particular video to show up on. And playlists are something I'll show you in a different video, but you use playlists that you create on your channel in order to create rows that will appear on your home page that will contain exactly that content that you want it to contain and nothing that you don't want it to contain. All right, so for our purposes here today, we want to click 3 playlists. Radio show guests, since many of these videos reflect radio shows on which inventors or service providers actually appeared. And we want to click the 2 playlists for Invent America TV. And then we're done with that. All right, you can see the auto-generated image. And right now I'm going to just leave that. I may come back and swap that image out with a different image, but for the time being, for the purposes of this video, we're going to leave it. The next item on this section is very, very important. By default, if you don't do anything after you've uploaded your video, this area will remain unclicked. Basically, they'll tell you that it's made for kids, and then it'll stop you dead in your tracks. So you don't want to do that, because if it defaults to yes, it's made for kids, basically it will make it private, which means no one can view it until you've either come in and provided an explanation about in what way is it for kids, or alternatively, as we always do, you will click the no button. It's not made for kids. And so consequently, you're representing that it's not made for kids, and so they leave you alone, and a lot of the questions you'd otherwise be required to answer are moot. The next thing you should do is drop down this age restriction button here so that you can click no. Don't restrict my video to viewers over 18 only. And then once you've satisfied yourself that that's correctly toggled, then click this show more button, because this is really important. And in the under the show more button, you'll see a number of different categories of things. First of all, unless you really want to promote a product placement or sponsorship or endorsement, you don't want to click this item here. And we always decline to click it, even if we are promoting products or sponsorships, because there's certain restrictions that get put into place once you click that button. So we always avoid doing that. Next, we also say no to these questions. We don't make a real person appear to do or say something they didn't actually do. We don't alter footage of a real event or place, and we don't generate realistic looking scenes that never occurred. So we click no always, and that's a good thing to do. If you click yes, you're going to have some more explaining to do. All right, these are automatically defaulted, and we leave them exactly where they are. And then the next big item is the tags. Now, quite a while back, we had a webmaster who decided that a certain combination of words made sense for the site, and we decided that's not really correct. So we have substituted the default list of tags, hashtags, with our own list, which I'll draw from right now. Keep available. When you're first setting up your site and your channel and you're talking about preferences, if you put the right stuff in at that point, you won't have any problems down the road, because it will automatically fill in these boxes with the default selections. Then, of course, we always pick the English language. You can choose other languages if you want, but we always obviously choose the English language. And then you have to decide what you want to say to the public about your video. And we always choose the content has never aired on television in the U.S. before, because that is the truth. It also comes with a lot less restrictions and a lot less answering regulatory questions. So we always click that. And then the recording date. We like to have the recording date match with the date that we released the video. But in this case, the date we want to release this video is in the future. So we have to be satisfied with the 20th. We'll go back later and change that. Okay. So we'll choose the 20th. And then the video location for us, it's always where our offices are located. In this case, Del Rio, Tennessee. The rest is pretty much SOP. Standard YouTube licensing. You should always allow embedding and publish to subscriptions, feeds, and notify subscriber, because that enables your video to get more traction, to be distributed to a wider audience. Also, I used to click don't allow remixing, but I learned over time that allowing video and audio remixing will actually facilitate a wider distribution of your video than if you click don't allow it. So I always click allow video and audio remixing now. Then the next question is, what category do you fall into, or do you want to fall into? We always click entertainment, but simply because entertainment is such a huge category. It's the largest category of all the categories listed here. And we want as many eyeballs or potential eyeballs on a video as we can get. So for our purposes, we always click entertainment, but you can click any category you want if you think there's an audience under one of these categories that is more germane to your video and might respond more positively to your video. All right, that takes us through the first page. At that point, you click this button down here, Next, and that takes you to a page with video elements. So the first thing we like to do is we like to add subtitles if they're easy to do. And when we click this Add button, sometimes we're lucky enough and this auto sync appears not grayed out. And when it does appear and it's not grayed out, we click it and we move on to the next one. This one, add an end screen, and we always choose this one simply because if you choose some of the others, they're difficult to satisfy the requirements for those, and so you end up discarding constantly and not being able to ever get to the save button. So we always choose that alternative. So we're going to save that. And then last but not least, we want an end card. And the end card that we want is for the space that we want this video to appear on, which is the Invent America TV space with about 26 videos. And that's because we have, with this video, we have a total of 23 Invent America TV videos. So we want to choose that as the end card. And then we save up here. Okay. That takes care of the second screen, and then we're going to get to the fourth screen, which is about copyrights. This particular video has no copyright issues. Sometimes there are issues, but more often than not, even if there is a copyright issue, it's not the kind of issue that prevents you from moving forward with your video. And the reason for that is many people who produce copyrightable materials, whether it's video clips or music or artwork or whatever it is, are perfectly okay with people using their creations on YouTube. And so YouTube has a pretty broad permission from artists to use some of their stuff. And what that does in turn is it jigs up the algorithmic value of the artistic item, so that the artistic item and the artist that created it gets more playtime and more exposure than they otherwise would get if they did not allow relatively free use of their copyrighted material. Now, not everybody's like that. If you go and find material somewhere else and you bring it to YouTube as opposed to being already on YouTube, there will be a copyright issue sometimes that will block you from actually continuing with the distribution of your video. So it's important that you look at this particular page as it flies by to see that either there's no copyright issue, or that if there's a copyright issue, it's still permitted that you use the copyrighted items, for purposes of distributing your video. All right, so once we've satisfied ourselves about that, we then click the button down here, Next, and that brings up a couple of different options. You can leave your video private if for some reason you just want to enjoy it yourself. You can click it unlisted, which means that it's not indexed by the YouTube algorithm search engine, but it can be made available to select people by just giving them a link to the site. So it's unlisted in terms of not being indexed, but on the other hand, it can be viewable if the person has the correct link to the video. Or you can click public, and if you click public, you have one of three ways of actually working it. You can just click public and then go publish down here, or you can click public and then set it as what's called an instant premiere. And what will happen is whatever the date is that you want it to premiere, 2 minutes or a minute, and it's your choice, before the video actually debuts, there will be a cute, artistic, fanciful lead-in to the video. Or you can even schedule out the video. And I would normally schedule this out, but the problem with that is I won't get the window to open that I want to show you, so I'm not going to do that right now. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to save this as public so we can see it immediately when it shows up. All right, so we're going to publish. And what happens once you do that, this window shows up. And what this offers up to you are a number of different social media platforms that you can automatically go to if you've put the right account link in for whatever account it is you want to post this stuff on. In this case, we choose to post all of the Invent America TV episodes on Rita Crompton's America's Inventor Lady social media accounts. And so you have, and we only do the three of them. The others are, from our perspective, unimportant social media apps. So we do LinkedIn first. And there's a reason we do LinkedIn first. And sometimes LinkedIn serves up the wrong account for her, and then we have to log out and then log back in. Fortunately, in this instance, it actually has given us the right account. You can see Premier account here, which is how we know we're in the right account. And there's your video right there. And what we do is we go back to the channel. We go back to the video. Let's see. We go back to the channel. And there's the video. And we go to Studio. Right there. And we go to the item itself. Under Content, which is right there. And we grab the description from that we posted in there initially. Copy. And then we go back out to LinkedIn and we paste that right in. And then once that's pasted in, we ask LinkedIn's AI to rewrite it so it's a little smoother than what it was. So we get a little better quality output. And then what we do is we take the output that LinkedIn has rewritten and we go back to, believe it or not, the original output that we had in our YouTube video, and we use the LinkedIn rewritten description instead. And then once we've finished with LinkedIn, we then go on to the next one, which is Facebook. And we check out, make sure that we're on the right channel. And there's the video again. We add description, share, right? And last but not least, we go to X. And we share the same description there, assuming that the right account pops up, and fortunately in this instance it has. popped up. So we'll just wait for the video to show up, and then we add our post, and then post. Now I would ordinarily clean up the formatting a little bit so it didn't look so spread apart. But this is just for purposes of this demonstration. And so that does it for 3 of the social media apps. Right? We've gotten all 3 apps posted with the new video and the new description of that video. So you've spread out your YouTube video now to 3 other social media apps. But we're not done yet. What we're going to do next, now that we've completed those 3, we're going to go out to the video itself, and we are going to drop down to the more here, and we are going to go all the way down till we get past the description, and you see there's a couple of more icons here for different social media apps. And since the box that opened up after we published the video did not contain Instagram or TikTok, we are now going to post on Instagram and TikTok as well. And so we're going to open up Instagram, and we're going to go and post the video on Instagram. I'm going to do that, and it will take a bit for the video to load. Instagram's a little slow, especially with larger videos. Tells us that videos are now posted as reels. Click OK, and then we click next up here, and then we choose whichever screen we want to have revealed. And in this instance, I'm going to have the young lady who was being interviewed. Okay, and then we put in our description as we did in the other social media sites. And then last but not least, we share it. And we let Instagram do its magic and eventually upload it to Instagram. All right, so we've taken care of X now, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. We have one more social media app to take care of, and we click the TikTok social media app. And what happens is Rita's account comes up, and we then look for a way to upload her video, her newest video. And then TikTok opens up a window for us, and we then get a chance to select the video. Here it is again. TikTok loads it. And you'll see it loading it little by little. There it goes. You see it's loading it now. Again, we're going to change the title, and it is The Trademark Wars. Now, you didn't need to do this with LinkedIn or Facebook or even X, and that's because, paste for our description, that's because you didn't upload the videos really to X or to LinkedIn or to Facebook. What you did was you created an embed, and so when an audience clicks on it, they can actually watch the video on the Facebook site, the LinkedIn site, or the X site, or they can choose to go to the site where the video is actually uploaded, which is YouTube. But with Instagram and TikTok, you have to actually upload the video separately. but at least the front page of YouTube allows you to go directly to those accounts without having to Mickey Mouse around with usernames and passwords and those kinds of things. And then you need to move down. If you want to put in a location, you can. Sometimes we'll put in Newport. Sometimes we'll put in Great Smoky Mountain. You want the video to play immediately, or you could schedule it. You see your choice right here. You want everyone to watch it. I suppose if you want to show more, you could drop this down. I never bother with this part of it because I just want to get the YouTube video up there. Yeah, see, and then that actually complicates things by doing that. There goes my beach ball, which I find incredibly frustrating when it shows up. Yeah, now it's giving me a hard time, unfortunately. Big mistake. All right, so what we're going to do, so you can see the rest of this, if I can arrange to do it. Not functioning. Let's see. What's that? Sometimes if we're just patient, it did not solve the problem. Well, I hope that in spite of that, that this video has been accurately recorded, because when my laptop crashes, everything goes to hell in a handbasket. So we'll see. Oh, there we go. Okay, it looks like it's straightening itself out. Okay. And you finally get down to here, and then you can post. All right, so there you go. That's it for this video on how to use YouTube effectively to spread your social media assets over a number of different social media platforms, all from the YouTube site itself. There will be additional videos in the future as I record them, dealing with different topics like creating playlists on YouTube, creating your home page in order to increase audience awareness and traction for your video. And have a great day.